Greetings everyone, this is Heathy, and I'm creating this particular video to talk about and discuss the liver and its corresponding organ, the gallbladder. Okay, the liver, as thought by a lot of medical professions in both allopathic and traditional healing practices, Eastern practices, thought that this particular organ was probably the best organ and most important organ in the body. And I understand their sentiment for that. Me personally, I think that all organs are essentially important because they all serve a purpose for having a great, rejuvenated, replenished, and overall healthy body. But I understand the sentiment of those health professionals and why they consider the liver to be so very, very crucial and important to the overall health of the body. Okay. In discussing the liver and its corresponding organ, the gallbladder, I'm going to organize this video with 4 basic topics. The first topic being the anatomy and physiology of the liver. The second topic being the common diseases associated with the liver and gallbladder, and then some of the causes for those diseases. The third topic being some signs and symptoms to be aware of when suffering from a degenerative liver. And then fourth and final, I'll end the video out with just some suggestions and recommendations for keeping the liver healthy and then healing the liver if you are suffering from any illness of the liver or any degenerative disease related to the liver and or gallbladder. Okay, so let's jump right into it. The anatomy and physiology, so the structure and then the function of the liver and gallbladder. First and foremost, the anatomy of the liver. It's located on the right upper abdomen side of the body, and is sits just below the rib cage. Okay, it's very large organ. It weighs roughly between 3.5 to 5 pounds. Is a reddish brown color, beautiful organ, like all organs, I guess. And it's so large that it kind of stretches from the right side of the upper abdomen to almost the left side of the upper abdomen. So it's a very large organ. Again, some of the functions of the liver are many. The current modern research has found that the liver has over 500 plus functions, and they're still finding more every day that has to be continuously researched and attributed back to that of the liver. But so far, 500 plus functions have been proven to be associated with the liver and that of the gallbladder. I mean, that is amazing in itself. But some of the major ones are it's the filter, and this is why I agree in part with a lot of the medical professions and allopathic and traditional healing methods when they say that the liver is probably the most important organ. I agree with them to a certain point on that, because the liver is the first line of defense for fighting off bacteria, viruses, and things of that nature from the foods that we consume within the body. Everything that comes within the body via the mouth, or anything that hits the body, but most importantly through diet. Any food and anything like that that comes into the body via the mouth will eventually go to the liver. And that's to be said about anything in the skin as well. I mean, if you rub stuff on your skin such as cocoa butter or anything like that, that eventually will go to the liver as well, because the blood, all of the blood is circulated through the liver. But I want to focus on the things that come in through the mouth, which are digested. Okay, so everything that you eat has to go to the liver first before it's actually passed into the circulatory system to be transported throughout the body. Okay, so anything that you eat and it has bacteria, or if it has viruses, or if it has with a lot of foods that are organic. They have a lot of pesticides, insecticides, and herbicides on it. All of that stuff has to go through the liver first to be checked at the door and say, okay, can I pass into the circulatory system or can I not pass? Okay, if it cannot pass, it goes and is sent out into the intestines to be excreted out, okay, or to some part of the body to be excreted out of the body. If it can pass, then it goes into the circulatory system to be transported to the cells to stimulate the cells, okay, very important. The liver is in charge of that, okay. Some other functions that are associated with that of the liver is producing bile, and bile is a very pure substance that is used to fight, not fight, but used to break down fats from the fatty foods. Okay, so it's sent into the intestines to break down fats. That's produced by the liver and sent to be stored inside of the gallbladder. Very important. The liver also stores a lot of the vitamins, the fat-soluble vitamins that are brought into the body from via the food. It stores those particular vitamins, minerals, and but also yes, the vitamins and minerals, but also the proteins. So I want to pause for a second, and I want to look at the proteins that come into the body via mainly the meat. Well, mostly the meat. When the liver gets those proteins, it has to break those proteins down. Proteins is pretty much a full combination of amino acids. Okay, so it's already built up into this poly molecule. Okay, so many molecules is already built up into that. The liver has to go through the job of breaking that protein down. And then in breaking that protein down, it creates a very poisonous substance in the body that the liver then also has to fight and make less poisonous, and that's known as ammonia. Ammonia. So every time you consume meat, each and every protein ingested from meat and assimilated to go into the liver has to be broken down to smaller amino acids, and in that process this ammonia is made. And this is on top of the ammonia that's made organically within the body, because the body also makes its own ammonia, but it's a very minute amount, okay, and that's to keep your body at a state of homeostasis. But when you're constantly consuming meat, right, dead animal flesh, be it cows, chickens, fish, any animal, life form that you cook, kill, and then consume will eventually produce a vast amount of ammonia in the body. Okay, it's important to note that, because people say the benefits of eating meat outweighs the non-benefits, but I have to disagree simply because of that. This ammonia directly impacts and hinders the functioning of the liver. Very important for you to note that. And if most people don't know, I don't know who doesn't know, but if someone is not aware of the effects of ammonia, just purchase some and then pour it out and then see the reaction of whatever object you pour that ammonia on. Okay, just look at the reaction. That's the same thing that happens within your body. Okay, it takes all of the moisture, all of the oxygen away from any object that you pour ammonia on. I should do a video just on ammonia to show you visually, in case you don't do it yourself, what are the effects of eating meat. Okay, very important. So let's jump to let's replay and then jump back to the liver for some more of its functions. Okay, it also again we talked about how it's the first line of defense of fighting off any bacteria, any virus that comes into the body. It has to go to the liver first, and the liver has to deal with it and make it into a less harmful chemical. To get away from digestion for a split second, the stress. If you're in a stressful situation in your household or at work, your body produces adrenaline when it feels it's in a a stressful situation. That substance is also harmful because, I mean, of course it's needed, but if it's consistently produced, then it's harmful. And like all other substance in the body, they have to go to the liver to be processed. And that, again, negatively impacts the liver and adding to the degeneration of the liver. Very important. Um, let me see some other functions of the liver. Again, it's 500. I'm not going to go through all 500, but again, there are some of the main ones. Okay, it produces the bile. It filters out all of the bacteria, the toxins. It deals with the stress toxins. It produces. It converts glucose into glycogen to be stored there inside of the liver in case the body needs some kind of sugar to help itself. Okay, so it does a lot of things, man. I mean, it's greatly involved in pretty much all processes of the body and building the exact amino acids. For example, a bodybuilder, when he's lifting weights, or if I'm doing a bunch of push-ups and I feel that burning going on there, the burning is the body breaking down muscle tissue, and it needs some additional muscle tissue to rebuild it back up. So those amino acids that are stored within the liver will then come together to to become a protein and then be sent to that particular location to rebuild that muscular tissue. All of that's pretty much done and instructed by the liver. The liver is very important. I can't take nothing away from it. It's a very important organ that we have to take care of. Okay, so that's pretty much the function of the liver. Another thing that I want to point out real fast before I move on to the second topic: the liver is also associated with the thyroid. A lot of women are having, or a lot of women that want to lose weight, and they're being told that it's mainly because of the thyroid. That could be partly true, but the liver really controls or has a real linked effect to the thyroid. So sometimes sisters, mainly, but brothers too, if you can't lose weight, try to check on that liver as well and see how healthy your liver is, because probably 7 out of 10 times you not being able to lose weight may be because you're tired a lot, and we'll get a little more into that in the other topics. But check on that liver too. Okay. All right. So moving right along to the second topic, and that's some of the common diseases of the liver. Okay. Of course, the main ones are cirrhosis of the liver, which is just like scar tissue. The liver has been damaged so much, and then it's constantly rebuilding itself, and then it's constantly being damaged, constantly rebuilding. So after time, cirrhosis of the liver occurs. It's just scar tissue that occurs within on the liver. Okay, we have liver cancer, and then we have hepatitis. Okay, and that's pretty much so many different viruses and bacteria constantly coming into the body. And the liver just, I mean, come on, after so many thousands of times, man, it's human. It's human. You have to accept that it's human. And while it shows superhuman strength from time to time, it's still a part of your human anatomy. So if you're not allowing it to heal, then it's going to succumb to a lot of those viruses, bacteria, and things that you're constantly sending into the bloodstream to be filtered by the liver. Okay, so with that's where the hepatitis and stuff come from. Gallstones is another one. And pretty much the causes of those diseases are, again, the eating, okay, the lifestyle that we're living. If you're drinking a lot of alcohol daily, even wine, because, look, the body makes its own alcohol too. Okay, but in minute amounts, very small amounts. So if you're consuming alcohol on top of that, you're negatively impacting the liver. You're not giving it its time to replenish itself and rebuild itself. Okay, very important information there. If you're not drinking a lot of enough water, excuse me, if you're not drinking enough water to help the liver replenish the blood, then you're adding to the degeneration of the liver and the gallbladder. Okay. So moving right along to the next topic, which are some signs and symptoms. Okay, things to watch out for when you're looking in the mirror at yourself and then at other people. First important thing, the color of the eyes, and I mean the whites of the eyes. Are they yellowish? Is the color of the skin yellowish? That's signs and symptoms of liver degeneration. Is there itchy skin? Very itchy skin. That's a sign of a degeneration of the liver. Anger. Are they easily agitated and overly angered at any little thing? Sign and symptom of liver degeneration. Okay. Again, because the liver deals with so many toxins in the body, that's where the itching and stuff would come from. Consistently itching all of the time. Some other things would be pretty much like I spoke about tiredness. Women being tired, so they're not able to exercise as much. So if you're overly tired, I mean overly tired, never wanting to work out, don't always assume that it's the thyroid. The thyroid could be a factor, but again, the liver plays an important role in the hormone production of coming from the thyroid. So check with the thyroid. Make sure that, check with the liver and make sure that the liver is in a balanced state, in a healthy state before you go and have surgery and things like that done on your thyroid. And then it doesn't really solve the problem, the initial problem that you were faced with. Okay. Let me think. That's pretty much the basic signs and symptoms to be aware of. The color of skin, the color of eyes, the itchiness, the agitated emotions, the anger, outbursts, uh, colds. If a person is abnormally catching like a lot of colds throughout the year, meaning, flu, viruses, things of that nature, their immune system seems to be weak because they're always sick, that's another sign and symptom that the liver is being affected. Okay. Last but not least, we're dealing with how to heal and maintain the liver and gallbladder. I have to state in the onset of this topic that the eating, the things that you're putting in your body is directly going to reflect the health of the liver, because everything has to pass through the liver. Everything you consume will eventually touch the liver and be filtered to be sent into the circulatory system or to be excreted out of the body. So raw foods, I have to constantly reiterate this, raw foods will definitely regenerate the liver. Very important. Raw vegetables, drinking more water. Okay. Also, exercising, full body exercising will help you to sweat out a lot of those impurities of the body and thus giving the liver a chance to rebalance itself. Okay, very important. Okay, do full body exercising where you're sweating a lot. A third thing, and this may not be clear but is important, reading and studying. The liver deals with the visionary and decision making, and the more that you study and read, it will also help the liver on an emotional level, okay, to soothe that body and also give you some intellect here, but also in the mind's liver. Okay, the liver has a mind too. All right, so reading and studying. Cutting out alcohol. If you have to drink alcohol, cut it down once, twice a week. I'm telling you now, it's going to affect that liver. Okay, eating meat, same thing. Cut it down. Try not to eat as much meat. Try not to eat greasy foods. Go to baking your chicken or things like that, or whatever else you're eating. And if you have to eat meat, don't eat it burnt. Eat it medium rare. That probably will stop you from eating it. But anyway, it has enzymes in it to help it break it down if it's medium rare or rare. But if you're cooking it, it's dead. There's no life form there. The body has to go through that strenuous process of breaking it down. Okay, very important. Some herbs that will help out with very compacted livers: milk thistle, dandelion, yellow dock, and there are many others. Alfalfa, burdock will help to rebuild and replenish the liver. Very important there. Some other things to do: fasting. Fasting is great. Fasting is very great. However, if you fast, if you're going to do a fast, note that you have to cleanse the body before you do the fast. So you have to stop eating a lot of the meat, stop eating a lot of the alcohol, and probably do raw fruits and vegetables a day or so before you actually do a fast. Simply because, again, all of the waste that's going to be inside of the cells is going to dump that into the circulatory system, which is the blood system, and all of that system is going to have to go to be filtered by the liver. And if you just stop all of that one day, it's going to be an onslaught of waste that's going to be impacting the liver, and you don't want that to happen, because unless you can handle it. But you're going to go through a massive amount of healing crisis. And if you want to avoid the healing crisis, then before you go into a fast, or like a juice fast, or a no eating fast, or water fast, or tea fast, or something like that, try to cut down to just doing raw foods for probably 1 or 2 days first. Okay, that will allow your body to excrete some of the waste out, so your healing crisis won't be as burdensome. Okay, very important. Enemas are great too. Some of the enemas to perform are coffee, lemon juice, herbal formulas will help to flush out the colon, large and small intestines, but also help with replenishing the liver and helping the liver to excrete a lot of the waste that is stored there, especially the coffee. Like we don't recommend drinking coffee. Like, I drink coffee rarely. Sometimes I do, but not every day. Not 3 times a week. Not even 4 times a week. No, once in a blue moon, because it's not as good for you. Especially it's the caffeinated. The caffeine in coffee is negligent and very harmful to the body, especially to the liver. So I don't recommend drinking it. But as far as enema is very beneficial, because it makes the liver to release all of that waste in there. Okay, it gives you that good cleanse. So an enema, colonic, very good for healing the liver. Okay. Let me see. Did I leave anything out? I think that's it. So yes, that's pretty much it. I gave you the 4 topics. I hope that was very helpful. I hope that it was an insightful video. I have to state that the liver is a great organ. It is a great organ, the liver and gallbladder. And there was some research done about the health of the liver and how it regenerated itself after being biopsied, and then, cut. A portion of the livers were taken out, and then over time, changing the lifestyle, this person's liver healed itself, man. I think that's very insightful, very motivating for anyone who may have, any of those common diseases of the liver. Your liver can heal itself. It will heal itself if you give it and provide it the environment conducive for healing. Okay? Like always, all questions, comments, concerns are welcome. This is Jahi Farr. Have a great day. Bye-bye.